Good morning, everybody. At this point in my real class, I get a big resounding good morning right back. So understanding that we're in this situation and you're talking to your television, I can't believe that that's so unusual, particularly for sports fans. So go ahead and talk back to your television, and I'll say it again. Good morning, everybody. Nice to see you. See, this is third class, is it? I believe. So welcome to Taste of Tai Chi. Again, I'm Don Madson, and this comes to you courtesy of the adult school system of Montclair. Katie York is shepherding us through this, and a fine job it is, certainly. Many of us who are not technologically oriented trip, stumble, and fall all the time. And happily, Katie's got control of the console and keeps me under control. That's a good thing. Okay, so let's get to it and do it. First thing you're going to do is to assume the Muji position. That means that your head is upright, your chin is tucked toward your body, your shoulders are consciously relaxed and rounded forward. You're going to tuck your tailbone, bend your knees, and see that your feet are close together with all your toes pointed forward. That is the Bougie position. In Chinese, Bougie means nothingness or without reference. It's a place to start, and that's how we're going to start. Next thing you're going to do is a traditional bowing in. It's an old traditional martial art tradition. I'm a traditional old martial artist, so we're going to do the old traditional martial arts tradition. Say that 3 times fast. Your left hand becomes a willow palm. Your right hand becomes a fist. Your left foot is put forward in a point step. There's no weight on that left foot. All your weight's on the right bowing well. Fold your left hand over the right fist. Keep your eyes up as you bow. We're in business. Okay. From here, we're going to do a few exercises. These exercises are meant to work on your ligaments and your tendons, your ability to move and shift your weight and otherwise be flexible.
Are you doing something?
We don't care about
I just unmuted.
Building. Y'all need to mute your device at your end. Katie should be the only one to be able to talk to me. So what we're going to do is to keep this position. You're going to put all your weight on your right side and sink. Pick up your left foot a little bit. Check your balance. If your balance is good, pick up the toes, go to a tiptoe position. If it's still good, keep your toes pointed down, pick up the foot, move it to the side, touch the floor. Lower the heel, push your heel out to the side to straighten your foot. Center your weight and sink. You're in a nice solid position. If you remember about the bubbling wells, that's the geographical middle of the weight distribution on your foot. You should have your weight over each of the bubbling wells and your knees nicely bent so you're nice and solid. So first thing you're going to do is swinging arms. Turn your bodies to the right, then to the left, and repeat. Everything starts from your torso. The rest of your body is going to follow along. Your arms don't have to do anything. They're just going to respond to the turning of your body. Keep your bubbling well in mind so you stay nicely balanced. Bend your knees a little extra so you're nicely brought toward the floor a little further. And relax. Okay, go back to the Muji position. We're going to do some double knee circles. Keep your body upright as you lower your body to find your knees. Then we'll do 15 rotations in each direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. If your knees are a little tired after you've done those, you need to do a little more. The quadricep muscle group just above your knee gets a little fatigued, and you need to condition it. That's all. Okay, next up, we're going to do touch the earth and hold the sky. It's a stretch. It's a very nice stretch. And keep in mind that you need to curb your enthusiasm, okay? Don't try too hard to do anything. We are not looking for ultimate performance. We're looking for a relaxed exercise system, okay? This has 6 steps. Number 1, bend your knees a little extra. Lightly interlace your hands in front of your body. 2, turn the palms up. Push enthusiastically toward the ceiling. 3, go up on the front half of your feet and stay there. 4, push down with your right palm, push up with your left. 5, top hand comes down, point your fingers forward, lift the fingertips and push back with your wrist bones. 6, ease down and relax. 1, 2, 3, and hold it. Are your knees still bent? Good. Number 4, this time push down with your left palm, push up with your right. 5, top hand comes down, point your fingers forward, push back with your wrist bones. 6, ease down and relax. 1, 2, 3, and hold it. Number 4, a right push down. 5, top hand down, point your fingers, push back with your wrist bones. 6, relax. 1 more, please. 1, 2, 3, hold it, please. Left push, pushing back, down. My favorite stretch. Okay, next is the horse stance. Your feet go a little bit wider than your body. Nice deep knee bend. Hands go out in front of your body. They're not touching. The fingers are about an inch apart. Please relax your shoulders and your elbows. We're going to do 2 minutes in the horse stance. Just relax. It's 1 minute. Thirty seconds. Fifteen seconds. Good. Relax for a second. Okay, separate your feet just one more inch. Nice deep knee bend. Hands out in front. This is called the tiger stretch. So shift your weight to the left side and sink. Pick up your right toes and turn them out. Shift your weight onto the right side, sink. Shift your weight back and sink. Pick up the right toes, turn them forward. Shift your weight to the right side and sink. Pick up the left toes and turn them out. Shift to the left, sink again. Shift back, turn the toes forward, center your weight, relax. Okay, that's all the exercises for the morning. Feel free to do any of those at home. They're all good for you. They're all going to loosen you up a little bit and get you ready for just going about your business. Okay, let me remind you that there is a website that has more than you want to know about what we're doing. It's at donmadson.blogspot.com, and it even has 2 videos of the form that we practice. So please go ahead and do that. Also, if you want, you can contact me via email with any questions you might have. That's at don.madson@gmail.com. You can also just kind of Google me and find me that way if you want to get those pieces of information. Meanwhile, let's get to work. We're going to start by doing the entire form, and I'm going to do it facing you, and I realize that it might be a little complicated, but that's the nature of the beast. It just is. So don't try to expect that you're going to get it done quickly and learn it within the 8 weeks that we've had together. It just doesn't work that way. It's Tai Chi. Okay, 12 postures, 2.5 minutes running time, and about 3 years to figure it out. Are you ready? Good. Preparation in 2 steps. 1, 2. Initiation in 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Grasping the bird's tail to the right. 1,
It's distracting.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Single whip, 5 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn the right toes. 5. Wave hands like clouds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pick up the right toes and turn. 9. Brush, knee, and push. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn the right toes. 5. Hands strum the lute. 1, 2, 3. Step back and repulse the monkey has 7 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Deflect, intercept, and punch, 6 steps. 1, 2, 3. Oops, that wasn't correct. Let me try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Shutting the door has 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Crossing hands has 7 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The conclusion has 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the form. Everybody totally confused? Okay, that's about right. Okay, what we're going to do is to work on a few of the basic ideas about your footwork in particular, because if you get the footwork correct, you have a good chance of getting the rest of it right. But the footwork has to be done really precisely. We don't have an awful lot of steps. There's 4 or 5 different steps that we use, but they all have to be done correct every time you use them. And they're not really confusing, but you do need to remember them. The first thing that we're going to do is to get into the Muji position. You remember that. Your head is upright, your shoulders are relaxed and rounded. Tuck your tailbone, bend your knees, your feet are together with all your toes pointed forward. Okay, this is the Bougie Step. We use a point step quite often. That's when you put your foot out, whichever foot it might be, and touch the floor without shifting any weight onto that foot. The heel is off the ground. I don't know if you can see it very well, but the heel is off the ground. Both of your knees are bent, and you should have your weight sunken onto the bubbling well of the foot that's supporting you. So it looks like this. The reason for this is because you can react quickly and kick at the kneecap with that toe. Okay, that's what that's all about. So a point step has the foot stuck out, heels off the floor, no weight on that foot. Then we have what's called a T-step. The T-step is kind of like a point step, except that it's next to your standing foot, and the toe is again on the ground, but the heel is not. And I like to bring my heel in contact with my standing leg just above the ankle. Okay, then we have what we call a sit step, S-I-T. It's just the heel on the floor instead of the toe, the same kind of no weight on that foot idea. But there's more. When we make that sit step, we're not making it just to the left of ourselves. We're not going 90 degrees with that foot. We're going beyond that to maybe 110 or 115 degrees. We're stepping behind ourselves in actuality. The reason we're doing that is because the next thing we're going to do most of the time is to shift our weight onto that foot and sink our weight. And then we're going to pick up the back toe on the other leg, and we're going to turn those belly button and toes into a 90-degree direction change. So we want to end up with our feet as wide apart as our hips. This is what, let's see if I can get it in reach. This is what the bow and arrow stance looks like. which is the result of the step that we just did. If your feet are lined up, you don't have any lateral balance and you're just going to fall over sideways at some point. But if your feet are separated by about hip width or even a little more, you're going to feel nice and solid, especially if you let your body sink. Okay? Your shoulders are relaxed and rounded, tailbone's tucked, knees are bent. You should feel pretty solid at this point. So the footwork pretty much has to be done in those ways all the time. Whether you're moving forward or sideways or backwards, your feet have to maintain that hip width distance whenever you're landed and settled in on whichever new step you're doing. If that's as clear as mud, please feel free to ask me about it and I'll do it some more. In fact, I'll touch base with that idea every time we do a class because the footwork is so important. Let's talk about how you shift your weight. Tai Chi is very slow and very deliberate, as you noticed, and we shift our weight the same way. The idea is you're controlling your weight shift. You're doing it so slowly that you're controlling every little part of it as you go. So if I step out and I want to shift my weight, I'm not just going to get over there and sink because I want to control it. So I roll my weight over there, and when I feel the bubbling well being correct, I sink my body a little bit. I don't want to have my weight in front of my bubbling well because then I would be overbalanced forward and I could be pulled forward very easily. So when I get to the bubbling well, I just want to sink a little bit and feel solid. If I've done that, getting solid on my front leg, then I can pick up the back toes a little bit and just turn my hips to face forward. That's how you do it. Everything as controlled as you can possibly be. Relating this to self-defense is really very easy. It has been a self-defense system for hundreds and hundreds of years, and along the way, somebody figured out how good it was for mental, physical, and emotional health maintenance, so they learned how to practice it for that as well. There's a very important link between the self-defense part and the health maintenance part. That is your breathing, your breath work. Whether you realize it or not, when you're actually doing a bit of serious work, you're probably breathing out. When you're getting ready to do some serious little bit of work, you're probably breathing in. If you think of a baseball pitcher, for instance, when he's getting ready to throw a pitch, he's sucking in as much air as he can, and that also translates to as much energy as he can store. And then, of course, he releases it when he pitches it, usually very explosively, very quickly. So that's what goes on in Tai Chi as a martial art, but the energy shifting using your breath as the vehicle for it is very helpful when you're doing it slowly. So what I'm suggesting is that as you move your body, the appropriate breath work will add energy to your body, unquestionably. Okay, so we're going to spend a little time thinking about how to do that. And I'm not telling you that you have to do it perfectly all the time, because unless you train for it, some of the breaths are too long, some of the breaths are too short. So we're going to do a little bit of breathing drill while I practice the form with you. So we'll do, say, the first 4 postures, which are, that's right, preparation, initiation, grasping the bird's tail to the right, and single whip. Are you ready? Okay, Muji positions, please. Breathing in. Breathing out. breathing in, breathing out, grasping the bird's tail, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Single whip. Breathing in, breathing out. Okay, did that make sense? Whenever you're gathering your energy, gathering your body in order to turn around and extend it and make the aggressive part of the move there, you suck up the energy, suck up the breath. When you turn and you extend, you're breathing out and releasing that energy. Now, how do you breathe? We're used to breathing with our upper body, with our chest. What we like to do is called diaphragmatic breathing or Zen breathing or Buddhist breathing or a lot of other names for it. But you're doing your breathing with your belly muscles. Okay, what you're doing is expanding your belly to pull air into every little crevice in your lungs. If you do that, first thing, you're getting more air into your lung sac. What that does is to create more oxygen in your lungs that goes into your bloodstream. So if you have more oxygen in your bloodstream, you're going to have more stamina. What that means in practical terms is that you'll be able to chase that bus that you missed for 2 blocks instead of just 1 before you fall over sideways. Okay? So you don't have to, but it's my recommendation that you practice the breath work whenever you practice your form. And yes, sometimes you're going to run out of breath. Sometimes you find that you've got breath left over when you're supposed to be doing the next part of it. That's okay. Just try over time to coordinate your breathing and your movement. Okay, so let's take a look at a few of the postures and try to get you tuned in a little more. I don't know if we'll make it, but my goal is to have you experience all of the postures in the form by the time our 8 weeks is done and feel that you've made some progress during the whole series of classes. So let's go back to the beginning. We'll probably do 3 or 4 of the postures in the next half hour. It's about the time we have that. First one, preparation. You start from your Muji position. Reminder, your head is upright, your chin is tucked toward your body, shoulders are consciously relaxed and rounded forward. Your tailbone is tucked, your knees are bent, your feet are close together with all your toes pointed forward. Now, what you did in assuming this position is to bring your center of gravity a little bit forward and a little bit downward. If you stand up nice and straight, your weight is usually on your heels. That's not a good thing for balance, okay? Remember your bubbling well? Always look for that bubbling well. So if you want to get your weight over that bubbling well, you have to center your weight. And if you sink a little bit, you're going to bring your center of gravity closer to the floor, which makes you even more solid. Think about your bubbling well. Okay, preparation in 2 steps. Number 1, sink all your weight on the left side, pick up your right heel just a little bit, and check your balance. If your weight is okay, go up to a tiptoe position and check your balance again. Think about your bubbling well on your supporting leg. If that worked, keep your toes pointed down, pick up your knee and move the foot to the side, touch the floor gently, without shifting any weight. Lower your heel just a little bit and push the heel out to the side so that your feet will be parallel when you finish. Now center your weight and sink some more. When you hear the word sink, everything from the top of your head down to your feet are going to move toward the center of the earth. You should have nicely bent knees. Your shoulders should be nicely rounded and relaxed. Your tailbone should be tucked. You should feel pretty solid, okay? Next up is initiation. It has 4 steps. The good news, your feet don't have anything to do. The bad news, all of the rest of your body is going to work. So the first step, as you sink a little bit further, let your arms float up to shoulder level. Nice and slow and easy. Arms and hands should be relaxed. Number 2, sink the elbows a little bit to draw your hands a little bit closer, not too much though. Number 3, sink the wrists to raise your fingers. Number 4, turn the palms toward the floor. Push down gently as you stand up. When your hands get to the level of your hips, relax. Grasping the bird's tail to the right has 10 steps. And they're complicated too, so we'll be going over this one some more. Number 1, shift your weight to the left side, embrace ball left, make a T-step with your right foot. Number 2, and remember where you have to step. Number 2, make a sit step with your right foot. Number 3, as you shift your weight onto the right side, push down with your left palm. Raise the right forearm into a blocking position. Number 4 is called invert the hands. Drop your right elbow, turn your body away just enough to point to the wall in front of you. Turn both hands over to the left and round your shoulders and arms so that your tiger's mouth on each hand is pointed toward each other. This is your tiger's mouth. You've got one on each hand. The forward hand, or the hand furthest away from you, has the palm facing down. The one closest to your body has the palm facing up. Both tigers' mouths are facing one another. Next is the drag. Shift your weight back onto the left side and sink onto the bubbling well. Turn your body back towards me. Your 2 tigers' mouths are right in front of your belly button, and they're in a nice rounded position. Number 6 is the release. As you shift your weight to the right, extend your arms at shoulder level. Arms and hands should be relaxed. 7 is called prepare to press. Turn the right palm so it faces the left shoulder and push that arm away a little bit. Bring the left arm up high over the top. When it's even with the wrist on the bottom, bring it down on the inside of that wrist, right in front of your body. Number 8 is the press. Because your weight's all the way on your right side, you should be able to pick up your left toes. And nose, belly button, and toes turns toward the wall. Turn the fingers so they point in opposite directions. Extend and separate the hands. That's the press. 9 is the pull down. Grab the top of your imaginary swimming pool ladder about shoulder high. Shift your weight back onto the left side and sink. Now slide your hands down that ladder all the way down to hip level. 10 is the push. Turn the palms up and bring the hands up even with your shoulders. As you shift your weight forward, turn the fingertips up. Continue shifting your weight in. Single whip has 5 steps. Number 1, shift your weight onto the back foot and sink. turn your body toward the front. Your right hand makes a hook. Your left hand goes to the shoulder. That's number 2. Step out with your left foot for 3. As you shift your weight forward, guard your face with your left hand. Your weight's on the front so you can pick up the back toes. As you turn the body, bring the left hand close to your left shoulder. Then turn the left hand and push forward at shoulder level with that left hand. The edge of your hand should be forward. Okay, relax. Let's just stand around a minute while I talk about what you did. Every one of these postures, and in fact, everything that we do, has martial arts content. This comes from an ancient and honored martial arts system, Tai Chi Chuan. Tai Chi Chuan means grand ultimate fist. It does not mean that everybody thought it was the greatest martial art out there. It's a Taoist idea incorporating the idea that everything affects everything else. And when we do Tai Chi, all of your body parts are moving into new coordinated positions to accomplish a particular thing. Even the very simplest movement that we make is a martial art movement, and we'll talk about those as we go along. So, a reminder, if you have questions about anything that I'm doing or talking about, please make the contact. You can do it by Googling me and finding out how to reach me that way, or you can remember my email, which is don.madson@gmail.com, or you can go to my website, which is donmadson.blogspot.com, and get some answers there. Okay, we've rested enough. Let's break down these postures and see what we can figure out. The first one, that we call preparation, is exactly that. We're preparing to do Tai Chi. We're getting into the position in order to do the form. The word form, by the way, is Kung Fu language for a official series of movements, choreography, if you will. And this is actually an offset of Northern Shaolin Kung Fu, and goes back, depending on who you talk to, around 2,500 years. So it's been around a long time. Okay, so let's look at these particular postures. Remember, please, that every posture has several numbers embedded within it. Those numbers represent a kind of a cue for you to do certain things with your body and coordinate them. It's exactly like choreographing, I can say that. It's just like choreographing any dance. You know, there are things that go together. In Tai Chi, like every other dance, the movements are not necessarily going to happen at exactly the same time when you hear the number, but there's going to be something that leads and something that follows. Happens all the time. So it's a matter of timing. You have to kind of work at it to get that timing down. So let's look at the first one. First one is preparation. So what we're going to do for number 1 is to sink on the left side while you pick up your right heel a little bit. You're going to sink your shoulders and round your back, tuck your tailbone and bend your knees. All of that's number 1. To extend number 1 a little bit, because we've just checked your foot, your balance with 1 foot a little off the ground, go all the way to a full tiptoe with your right toes touching the floor but nothing else. And you need to check your balance again, and you should be referring to your bowing well. That's all number 1. For number 2, you're going to point your toes down, pick up the knee, move the foot and find the floor with your right foot, just a touch of the toe. Then you're going to lower the heel just a little bit, and push the heel out a little bit, center your weight, and sink. Bend your knees a little extra, let your shoulders be a little more relaxed. Tuck your tailbone a little more, bend the knees a little more. Now look down at your feet. Are they even? I have a character flaw. I step behind myself a little more often than I'm supposed to. If I really were paying attention to it, I could get it right. Excuse me. But I'm talking to you at the same time, so I'm a little distracted. Let's do it again. Preparation in 2 steps. 1, 2. How'd that work out? Okay. One more. I'm just going to say begin. Do it at your own pace. And begin. How'd that feel? Yeah, right? Second one is called initiation. It has 4 steps. Okay. Oh, before I do that, let's talk about what the reason for doing the preparation step is, besides just getting into position. So here's the scenario. Somebody is creeping up on you, ready to steal that Gucci bag full of $100 bills you've got hanging on your shoulder. What you're going to do when that person gets close enough is to reach out with your foot and scrape all the skin off his shin bone from the knee all the way down to the ankle. You see, you kept your weight over here because you might want to do it some more, okay? But you're going to do that scrape step before you center your weight and sink. It's a very aggressive move. We're just doing it very, very slowly. Why? To build control. We want you to be more and more controlling of your own body. So if you can do these very slowly, you're showing good control of your body. Okay, the next one, initiation. 4 steps. Number 1, we sink a little bit. We raise our arms up to shoulder level. Number 2, we sink the elbows to draw the hands in a little bit. Number 3, we sink the wrists and push forward. Fingers get up out of the way. Number 4, we turn the palms down, push down while we straighten up a little bit and relax our hands. Okay, what's going on here is that you're defending yourself against somebody reaching out to choke you. Not something that sounds like a good idea at all. A lot of ways to take care of that. This is one of them. What you're doing by sinking is buying a little time, buying a little distance. Because what's going to happen is as that person reaches for your throat, you sink your weight and you bring your forearms up to block their arms. You'd be hitting them just behind the elbow in most cases, okay? Then what you're going to do is to reach around and grab those arms. It'll be around the elbow area. Then, because you have sunken, you can go up again. So as you rise, you pull down. That means that the person who was reaching for you is now in this position, which is a bad place to be, because the person holding your arms can use their feet, they can use their knees, they can use their forehead, all kinds of ways to attack. So when we've done this, we've got them under control. But what if they want to pull back? Aha, that's another story. Let's do it again. Feet are shoulder width apart. Number 1, sink the body to raise the arms. Number 2, sink the elbows to draw your hands closer. Number 3, sink the wrists to raise the fingers. Number 4, push down to waist level as you straighten your body, then relax your hands. I want you to look closely at what I do with my hands. I'm going to turn sideways, and I want you to see that this is almost a circular kind of pattern. Circular patterns are very common in Tai Chi. There's usually at the finish of a circular pattern, there's something straight that goes on, but I want you to look for the circles. Okay, so we've just done preparation. So number one, sink the body, 2, raise the arms. Number 2, sink the elbows to draw the hands closer. Number 3, sink the wrist to raise the fingers. Number 4, push down to waist level as you straighten your body, then relax your hands. There's this kind of a circular movement that we're doing. We do a lot of circles in Tai Chi, a lot of circles. Okay, the third posture, grasping the bird's tail to the right. This is a buster. It's got 10 different numbers, and there's probably 25 or so different things you're doing with your body over the time that you're trying to get this one done. Let me tell you about what it's for before we start. Also, let me tell you that with Tai Chi, we have kind of mystery moves, I guess we'd call it. There are things that happen in real life that we're not showing you doing the form. This is a kind of a stylized version of what would happen on the street, but I'll try to explain it to you as we go. So we're in this position. The first thing we do is to shift your weight left and embrace ball left and make a T-step with your other foot. Okay, what goes on there, like I said, there's mysterious things that we haven't told you about. Before we get into this embrace ball picture, we will have done what's called a ward off, which is a block, and we've guided that arm away and we've latched onto the wrist of the person that has been attacking us. That's how we end up in this position. It's stylized. I'm not showing the grip on the wrist. I'm showing embrace ball. If we want to talk about the ball is the size of from your shoulder to your hip, and it's in front of the left side of your body, not right up against your body, because it's a 3-dimensional ball. The step that you took with your right foot is our classic T-step. And remember, when we step with this foot, we're going to step behind ourselves a little bit in the direction that we're going, so that when we finish up, we have some space between our feet. Okay, so first, shift, grab the ball, make the T-step, and block. What we did there was to grab the wrist, step in toward the person. We've got his wrist turned over so the arm is facing, the palm is facing up, and this becomes an arm bar. We're going to lock up that arm so it's like a lever, like holding onto a broom handle or something. Okay, so we do this part. Now we want to invert the hands. That means we're going to turn the arm over and put our hand on the back of the upper arm to lock up the elbow. Elbows are wonderful weapons, and we want to make sure that guy doesn't use it on us. Then we'll drag and turn that person. By breaking their grip on the ground, by breaking their balance, we lead them into a position. We're going to prepare to press, which is a 2-handed push. But this guy is a martial artist, so he separates our hands and defeats that idea. That's okay. I've still got his arms right here, so I'll latch onto him just about the elbows, shift my weight back, and pull down. Well, that puts him in this position. Bad idea, and he knows it. So what he's going to do is to pull away, and as he does, I'll plant my hands on his chest and help him go at a high rate of speed, okay? So it could mean that he's going to get back into a wall or stumble over himself on the street, all kinds of ways. But again, let's look at it. So, embrace ball, make a T-step. Make a sit step. Shift the weight, blocking up. Left hand goes down around your pocket. Invert the hands. Again, there's circles there. Shift and sink. Rotate the body. Shift and sink. Let your arms trail behind you. Relax. Prepare to press. Turn the right palm towards your left shoulder. Push away. Left hand goes high over the top. Comes down right in front of your body. Your left hand is on the inside. The right hand is on the outside. Your left toes are off the floor so you can turn. Turn your fingers sideways to each other. Extend and separate. 10, 9 is the pull down. Grab the top of the swimming pool ladder. Shift and sink. Slide the hands down even with your hips. 10 is the push. Turn the palms up. Raise your hands up to the level of your shoulders. As you shift your weight forward, turn the fingertips up. Continue shifting your weight and push. Freeze. Is your weight on your bubbling well or is it too far forward? If it's too far forward, bring it back. Remember where your bubbling well is, about the geographical middle of your foot, and sink a little bit. Should be nice and solid. Look at your feet. If they're lined up, if the heels are lined up, then they should not be. You want your heel to be about hip width apart from the other heel. That means you're going to be nice and solid and stable. Okay? If you have any questions, give me a buzz. Okay, let's do those 3 continuously. I will call the numbers for each one. Okay, go back to your Muji position. Head is upright, chin tucked toward your body, shoulders relaxed and rounded. Tuck your hips. Bend your knees. Feet are close together with all your toes pointed forward. Preparation. 1, 2. Initiation. 1, 2, 3, 4. Grasping the bird's tail to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How did that work out? Okay, I don't assign homework, but I think it would be a real good idea for you to work on those 3 postures for next week. And we'll check it out there and then we'll move on. Let's take a look at the next posture in line, which is called single flip. It's got 5 steps going on. So from this position, number 1, you're going to shift your weight onto the back foot and sink. Then turn your body toward the front. Weight still on the left. 2, shift your weight to the right. Reach out to make your hook. Your left hand goes to your right hip. You're going to make a T-step. Number 3, a sit step. And remember, you're stepping behind yourself as well as forward. 4, as you shift your weight to the front leg, bring your left hand up to guard your face. At this point, your weight's all on your left side, so you can pick up your right toes. For 5, as you turn your body, bring your left hand close to your left shoulder Then turn the hand and push forward with that left hand. Okay? Your right hand can be anywhere back here, it doesn't matter, anywhere from 90 degrees to back here another 20 or 30 degrees, and it's perfectly fine. Okay, enough of that. Okay, the last thing that we do every class is the first thing that we do every class, which is the entire form. Okay. This is confusing because I'm doing it mirror image. Okay. For me to do it the right way around, I'm going to turn around so that we get the directions right. I'm working real hard on trying to get this whole form up mirror image, but it's really hard. So bear with me. We'll try to do it this way and see what happens. Okay, so I'm going to turn around and lead the parade. I'm going to announce everything, and I hope you can hear. We'll see how that works out. Katie will give you the critique after the class is done, and we'll see if it works. Okay, so turning around. Preparation. Initiation. Grasping the bird's tail to the right. Single whip. Wave hands like clouds. Brush, knee, and push. Hands strum the lute. Step back and repulse the monkey. Deflect, intercept, and punch. Shutting the door. Crossing hands. Conclusion. I hope that didn't confuse anybody too terribly hard, but just trying to give you a sense of the direction that you're supposed to be going. And until I learn the entire form mirror image as well as I think is necessary to teach, we'll be doing that final shot with me putting my back towards you. Yeah, I know it's pretty rude and stuff like that, but I'm trying to figure it out too. Okay, reminder, if you have any questions about it, feel free to email me. Feel free to check the website at donmadson.blogspot.com. And I look forward to seeing you all next week. Same time, same place. Thanks for tuning in. Goodbye.